Hello everyone, velveteenduck here. Today's guide is for those of you who just made it to level 100 and now you don't really know what to do in order to continue getting stronger. As always, if this guide helps you out, please leave a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. I also do live streams on most Sundays at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, so you can watch it on both Twitch and YouTube. So feel free to pop in and ask any unanswered questions, even if I'm playing other games that day. Alright, so now you are a brand new level 100. You're a little bit lost. The first thing to understand is that Drakensang Online is all about the gradual accumulations that's going to build up your strength. Some things that you were doing pre-level 100 might have been okay, but once you reach level 100, it's no longer feasible. The first thing you need to do is take a look at your own wisdom points distribution. This is the foundation of your character, so it needs to be built correctly, or anything else you build on top of it will be shaky. The most important stat to invest in as a newbie is critical value. You can play normal difficulty with 0% crit from level 1 to 100, but the moment you want to challenge higher difficulties, crit value is your best friend. The second best stat to invest in is attack speed that is appropriate for your particular weapon. Please note that all new players should be starting off with a one-handed weapon with your choice of offhand to try and break the 4.0 attack speed barrier. If you need an explanation on what that is, I have a guide over there all about it. After getting your crit rate and attack speed from your wisdom tree maxed out, what follows will depend a little on your playstyle and class. I'm of the opinion that health points, armor, and resources are important next choices based on the way I play, but I know they're not necessarily popular choices with other players who prefer to play full glass cannon style and would prefer to invest in resources and damage instead. Depending on your class, you might also want to tweak your skill trees. For spellweavers, I recommend going with some variation of an ice build with the guide over that way. For rangers, if you need a build to follow, you can try the one contributed by Toxic, which can be found in my Discord, a link in the description below. And for Dragon Knights, you can try Tyr's Poison Dragon Knight build. As for dwarves, sorry there guys, I don't have a guide for you. You can continue to squabble about Oil Slick. Please note that it has already been mentioned that with release 245, the developers are looking to rebalance the classes, so if you're watching this video in the very distant future, you may have to search for the latest edition of each guide. Alright, now that we got your characters sorted, the next step, of course, is the equipment. Make sure you do your crafting quests and check the crafting section of your achievements. You won't reach endgame stats if you don't craft. As well, I need to debunk the perception that legendary items are just as good as unique or set items. Legendary items have a limit to how many gem slots you can open them, and it's capped at 8. Unique or set items can have 10 gem slots. That's a 20% difference in power without even accounting for anything else. As well, legendary items don't have any unique lines or set effects, and sometimes those can be very powerful when correctly combined. So, your equipment progression will roughly follow the following blueprint. From ordinary items, you'll progress to regional sets. There are a lot of regional sets, but they have identical set bonuses, and the only difference is the base values. From there, you'll progress to a mixture of world drop uniques, regional uniques such as the Lingering Memories items, special sets such as the Legendary King set from the Secret Lairs, and lastly, Parallel World Boss uniques. Everything except Parallel World Boss uniques will be relatively easy to obtain for a new player because you should be going to the various regions and increasing the difficulty step by step from painful all the way up. The Parallel Worlds start at Infernal difficulty and are considered true endgame content, but realistically speaking, it's about on par with Merciless in the normal world. So unless you can clear Merciless in the normal world, you probably aren't ready for Parallel Worlds Infernal. Out of the various equipment sets I've mentioned, the regional sets are ranked the lowest. I would not go out of my way to deliberately farm for them, but they are very easy to obtain and thus make a great beginner set. As for world uniques, well, much as their name implies, they can drop from pretty much anywhere. There's the Scorn of the Dragon set, which is not bad given that it gives 10 points to activate a free fire mastery. Cloak of Heroes is also an excellent choice for a damage cloak. And then there's the Master's Pauldrons, which I don't know the name of this item for the other classes, but it's the attack speed pauldrons. By the way, if you're playing a Spellweaver and the Royal Pauldrons of Singularity are also a great option if you're weak and mainly being added to the group for your Singularity. There's also an offhand called Riddle for Spellweavers. It has other names for other classes, which gives a disgusting amount of HP. It's actually a pretty good item. There's also the Roshan set, which has different names for different classes. I only use the belt and gloves at this time for block, and this is actually a pretty decent set. These are just some examples of viable world item drops. If you have other ones that I didn't mention, feel free to just drop it in the comments below. As for the Lingering Memories items, I pretty much have to give the Researcher's Boots a rave review. You get 13,000 crit from a single item, which is just insane. The other Lingering Memory items are also not bad, such as the Adornment. In addition to farming for equipment, you'll want to pick up Keys of Prowess for scaling dungeon bosses. These are important for farming gems, wisdom, and boss ingredients for equipment creation crafting. At the moment, spamming runs of a boss on painful mode is one of the fastest and most reliable ways to level up your wisdom, so put it to good use. Favorite maps for most players to farm Keys of Prowess are the Great Desert, where the Sentinel will respawn on a timer, even if you just take a nap on the ground, or Stone Keep and Foxorific Burrow of Investigation, which are very small maps and thus very quick to clear. By the way, remember how I just said parallel worlds are meant for endgame players? Well, there's a neat little shortcut for fairly weak players to get their hands on the parallel world uniques. You'll need to collect the boss ingredients in the equivalent normal world boss, unlock the recipe, collect the ores, and the hardest step will be to obtain the parallel world ring. Hint, this is an MMO, you can ask other players for help. With all of that, you can have the unique item even if you can't kill the parallel world boss on your own. In case you guys are wondering, that is exactly how I got equipment while playing on the test server as a noob-ass character. Also, pro tip here, you actually need to put 2 items on the workbench for parallel world boss uniques, the ring and the generic item. Only one of the items needs to be level 145 if you want a level 145 resulting item, which is the highest equipment level in the game at this moment. As well, you are going to need to farm some runes in order to power up. There's a few ways to go about doing this task. The community favorite at the moment is farming places like Temple Sector, where there are a lot of elites. Otherwise, there are several currencies that you can buy runes with, such as Gilded Clovers with Zumpi, Drakens with Knob, and Materia Fragments with Salvender. I really don't recommend buying if possible. Seriously, unless you have very bad luck and you just can't get one specific type of rune and you just need 1 or 2 more to fill those gaps in your trinkets, you are probably going to have to spend a lot longer in order to save up that currency than it'll take you to just blindly farm and wait for it to drop. As for what runes to use in upgrades, Wisdom runes are a must for every new player. Following that are the Runes of Devastation for crit and the Runes of Celerity for attack speed. After that, you can build pretty much whatever you want. Gem farming is of course a must. The higher the difficulty mode that you can farm, the bigger the gems you can get, and therefore the faster you can upgrade. But take things one step at a time. Sure, bloodshed mode might be profitable, especially with the blood chests, but unless you're strong enough, dying 1,000 times a run probably doesn't feel too good. I strongly recommend building up your onyxes first, along with your zircons, and after that you can diversify outwards to other gem types. And the last tip that I have, which I haven't really heard anybody try to tell new players to do this, collect pets. Pets are part of the collector's bag, and you can get bonuses once you collect a sufficient number of a certain type. There are 2 pets that I strongly recommend everybody to have. The first one is the cute doggy, which is at its highest level will increase the gold sell value of items by 40%. That's like getting a free ticket to get rich real quick. And someone correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think the cute doggy might be a world drop with a pretty low chance right now. Someone sent me a screenshot the other day of them dropping it from King Heritor, and I mean the level 17 King Heritor. So good luck with farming, or you can just buy it with community coins. The second pet that I recommend is the bug collecting Jabax, currently the best crit pet in the game, and immensely popular with most players as they don't have enough crit otherwise. You can buy this one for gold from Grismek. So with all of that, hopefully you get a sense of direction of what to do next, what to collect, and what to upgrade. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments below, or join my Discord. I still haven't figured out why half my servers suddenly changed their name to Butt Stuff for a day, but we're nice people. We help answer questions, and we're always chatting, so hope to see you there.